What is going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back. You good?
I won.
To Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. When we left off, Grey Girl's taking the stand, and they've revealed that they are indeed a lady, but have not confirmed, or confessed, both of them kind of working away
Yeah.
to being a witch. So that's what this cross-examination comes down to. And now we're talking about the past case, because we have nothing on them in the current one.
No.
Yet. Let's talk about the past. 1 o'clock at night, excuse me, 7:11 is better than Sunday. Hold it! So you last saw him alive at 1 a.m., is that correct?
Yes. Matt had a habit of conducting his experiments at night, so it was the usual time for me to finish my work.
Weren't you helping him with those experiments?
He would sometimes have some errands for me, but alchemists generally keep their experiments a secret. That's why I'd always excuse myself at that time unless Master had some other task for me.
And then that was no more work for you?
That's correct. I wished Master good night as I shut the door behind me and then heard him lock the key. There was nothing unusual about him, at least nothing I noticed.
Well, for breakfast this morning, he did not respond. The door said he was locked. And what time was that?
Master would always take his breakfast at 9 a.m., so it was around that time.
So you didn't have the key to Sir Bedrick's study, is that correct?
Yes, there was only one key to that room and Master always kept it with him. Master's research was a very delicate matter, you see. We had to take strict measures to prevent outsiders from entering that room. Occasionally, delinquents would try to make off with one or other of Master's medicaments. It's such a weird word.
Thief stealing from an alchemist. Can't tell if it's incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably the latter.
That's why the door to that room is made from thick oak wood. I wouldn't have been able to force the door open on my own.
She couldn't have entered the room before that, then. Neighbor had come to visit. Who the hell was that neighbor?
Yeah.
It sounds like we need them here. Wait, you mean you broke the door?
That's what he's focusing on.
The only key to that room was in Sir Bedrick's pocket. The way to enter the study was to break the door open. And you managed that with the help of a neighbor who came to visit.
Yes, it wasn't a social visit, mind. He came as a patient.
A patient? Can you tell me more about him?
Objection!
Irrelevant? Is that what you're gonna say?
The victim's neighbor is irrelevant.
Yep, I
There's
knew
nothing
it!
to do with this case. I think you're pushing it this time. A witness is hardly irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's got him so shaken. Looks as if he just had a rush of blood to the head.
Master Belgic had been taking very potent medicines.
Making,
not taking. Making. Among other things. We would get people coming from the town at all hours of the day or night asking for them. And yet, in return for all the help Master offered, people would gossip about him dabbling in witchcraft.
So you broke the door together with a neighbor?
Yes, when I explained the situation to him, we brought over an axe. Then he proceeded to attack the door with great force, smashing it into splinters.
I see. By the way, about that neighbor. Who was that?
Whoa.
Is that a mirror?
It's time for Emir's grand entrance. Guys.
No. Leave me alone.
See, I told you it was British.
Order! Order! Could it be that it was you who...
And he's up on the stand.
You looking old man?
Oh,
Right here. And as for who I am, I'm the alchemist's neighbour and a witness in that case too.
See, very thick accent. That's what I was doing at first, but
oh, what, you mean he doesn't get a voice?
oh
Okay.
god, why is he
Passion
back?
for justice seething within. A man's always at the crime scene.
Objection!
Well, within crime scene.
Well, you know, I read it first, so it's you again. You're the guy from earlier, right?
Oh, God. Yup, that's me. Amir's the name. How have you been, Bluey?
Are you really the alchemist's neighbor? Seriously?
Like, why? I know, right? Freaky coincidence, eh? But yeah, his house is next to mine. Oh, God.
Boy, what a mere coincidence. Ridicule all here. Amir returns, drinking like a king. He never, ever learns. So I tried to stop you from asking about the neighbor.
He didn't want him back here. That's why.
He should have listened to you, sorry.
That's why.
Oh, man.
He didn't want. It's not because they were irrelevant. He just really didn't want to have to deal with
It's like,
Amir
trust
again.
me, they're irrelevant, please.
Oh my God, I feel bad now. He was really trying to. Why so cold, Inquisitor Barnum?
Unable to hold it steady, cold gaze. Amir drinks fast, as if in a daze.
Amir
And-
drinks fast as if in a daze.
The musician standing next to you.
Ah, yeah, that's me.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
me private bard, Birdley. A right musical genius.
Hold on. Oh dearie mate. Oh dearie me.
Yeah, remember he hired him.
Yeah.
Well, no use shutting the stable door after the horse is bolted. Let us move on.
I just had a wild thought.
What?
I have a wild thought. All right. Bear with me
All I
here.
hear in my head now is.
So.
What?
Here's my wild thought.
Okay.
Amir's drinking a bottle of poison. There's a bottle of alcohol left on the alchemist's desk. I think he grabbed the wrong bottle when he left the office.
But
Why is Amir drinking a bottle of poison? He's been drinking it since he showed up on this second day. He used to be drinking regular alcohol that's been switched for poison. And all of a sudden there is a bottle of alcohol that is, I'm going to assume that is alcohol
it
that
could
is
be
on
a
his desk.
potion.
Still.
Also, if it was poison, why wouldn't he be dead?
Maybe there's something that's needed to activate it.
Also, he's drunk.
Listen,
Poison that makes you drunk?
I don't know. It literally has a skull and crossbones on his bottle.
Yeah.
Anyways, let us move on.
Witness, since you're already here, you may as well have your testimony. Testify about what you witnessed on the morning after the crime.
Please don't.
Also, what would that make? What would Amir have to do with the crime?
No, it's the fact that it's not him having anything to do with the crime. It's the fact that there could have been a bottle of poison that was used to help with it. Because especially with the stuff that's dripping out of the alchemist's mouth, that's assumed to just be blood. Like, that's such a random detail to just add in there that has no relevancy. It is going to be relevant. That's the way these games work. They don't put in little details to be like, oh, he bit his tongue a little bit. It's going to be important. And I think he possibly was affected by drinking whatever he did.
Huh.
You can count on me!
Can we?
And I think that they couldn't find at the scene at the scene of the crime because
Whoa.
of that. I couldn't get my words
you
right.
were malfunctioning.
But yeah, he's literally holding a bottle with a skull and crossbones when he's not fucking chugging that like a champion.
God.
You want to go and read that? Because that's new.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because he's never testified before.
How is he saying that if he's choking? Anyway.
He said it before he chugged.
It's
Go
undone
for
me
it.
then, Louis cast familiar, just like in this case.
Hold it!
Can you tell me what caused this sudden realization?
Sure thing, when the Inquisitors came round, they went to have a little peek at the crime scene. That's when I heard them talking about it. I was surprised because they must have come to the same conclusion as me. Crikey, they can do their job, them Inquisitors, I thought. It had to be familiar.
So he was eavesdropping.
If I happen to see that familiar user, I'll arrest him myself.
Oh my god.
Gulp, 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 gulp.
He's like, stop drinking.
Witness, you are testifying in court. Can you not restrain yourself a bit?
Was I? Don't you see I gotta have this to keep my spirits up? It's the most potent medicine.
Oh god.
Sorry, medicine.
There's a drink Amir lives to savor with an intoxicating scent and flavor. Anyways,
It sounds like slam poetry with music in the background.
well, maybe that's what he does.
Oh my god.
Okay? This is a waste of time. I should be looking for decisive contradictions.
Witnesses, continue your testimonies.
Can I go home? No.
Alright. Other concoctions from the study have been confiscated. I wonder if they're being Amir's gonna pop up on this one, isn't he? I feel it. Those items were confiscated 3 months ago. You still haven't gotten them back?
No, not a single thing. Even though many of those are personal items with no relevance to the crime.
Now that I think about it, that room did look pretty empty. As I said, the victim was an alchemist, and among his possessions were some very dangerous concoctions. But he did produce medicines to aid sick townspeople as well, to give him his due.
Indeed, alchemy is highly beneficial to the townspeople, even if they fail to notice it.
It may be beneficial, but also inspires fear. People fear what they do not understand. Then cannot return the items to you until Sir Beldry's case is solved. That is what High Inquisitor Darklaw has decided. And the confiscated goods are being kept in a secret vault by the Knights of the Inquisition? If the Inquisitors cannot freely enter that vault, they're strictly supervised. I have another thought I'll add here quick.
What?
As to a potential motive for it. Because the game's kind of pushed forward the fact of all of the stuff being confiscated from the crime scene involving alchemy.
Yeah.
And that Grey Earl was not allowed to actually help Sir Belduke and all this stuff. Remember? Every time he was running experiments,
Yeah.
Jean wasn't allowed inside the room.
Yep.
I wonder if Jean was trying to get their hands on the stuff, and so it's like, all right, I'm gonna kill him, and I'll be able to get all the stuff for myself, and I can do the experiments.
Huh.
Not realizing that they would go, we gotta take everything, okay? Until we solve this crime, it's all locked down. Which then leads to the fact of needing to accuse someone of another crime to get everything solved and wrapped up to get that stuff back.
Oh, that's really smart.
It is.
Wow.
So I think that might be the motive potentially of why Jean would, number one,
Frame Maya.
yeah, well, yeah, number one, frame Maya, number two, kill Sir Belduke in the first place.
Yeah.
Wanting to take
'Cause
over the
she
stuff.
seems really like insistent on like, hey, when am I gonna get that?
And also, you can use alchemy as a way to not just hide your quote unquote witchcraft, but also enhance it. Maybe not like necessarily enhance it, but use it alongside witchcraft to be a double witch. Of a bitch.
Oh my god.
Anyways, that's all I have to say, huh? I really didn't expect him to appear, but maybe I should be used to it by now.
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought.
Yes? That's okay. What is it?
I'm wondering if it's just me, but I've been thinking about Mr. Emir's testimony. I think what he said is a little strange, isn't it?
Yeah. How can I put it? It's pretty obviously contradictory.
He was so keen to testify, maybe we should give him some attention and point those contradictions out. What a good idea, Luke. I'm behind you.
All right, well, let's go back around to his. All right, the witch cast Amelia, just like in this case. But
God.
why? Trying to figure out what would be the...
God, that sounds so uncomfortable. All that gulping. Like, it stopped for now, but...
Yeah. Will we use this because the Familia Gem is a fake? That feels like the only thing that really makes sense, especially talking about the past case. But then would this really count if this wasn't at the scene of the crime in the first... It's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Because I literally said his statement is the contradiction.
Yeah.
And they're there's not really much about these pictures that says otherwise from it. So I'm going to go for it. If we need help, I'll use a hint.
Objection.
Nah, it is this. Okay.
Hey.
There's something you don't seem to understand here, Mr. Amir. The Familia gem in this witch's scepter is a fake. The gem is useless. So this is Buffoon's testimony.
Huh?
Therefore, your testimony doesn't hold water. Just like anything else he says.
What?
Ignored and scorned, without credibility. Will majestic Amir now show humility?
What? A fake?
Oh my god.
You should have listened to the trial more carefully.
Oh my god.
Bro, we literally talked about it 10 minutes ago.
Now that that has been dealt with, Inquisitor Barnum, Miss Witch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Sir Belduke was murdered. Is that correct?
Indeed, we deduce that Familia must have been used, however.
Objection.
But that Familia magic gem was a fake. That much has been demonstrated today. What's more, as we've learned from Cracker the Parrot's testimony, the witch used the spell Godor. The fact that there's a green wall at the crime scene corroborates that.
Objection.
That wall may well not have been painted green 3 months ago. Well, besides, no one could have passed through a portal so small.
Your hands.
I've been thinking that for eons,
To be
man.
honest, I've started wondering, were Sir Layton's and Sir Belduke's murders actually committed by the same witch?
Objection.
Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that was the Inquisition's claim. Ugh. He's right, though. It's got to be the same culprit in both cases. And, at the very least, it's possible that the witch used the spell Godor to commit Sir Belduke's murder. What?
The painting.
In that case, I'll ask the defense to show us proof.
Yes.
Do you have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Belduke?
Uh-huh.
Where is it?
I'm going to use the crime scene sketches.
Take that.
So we show the previous one that shows that it is
Yeah.
behind the painting in the top. I'd like you to take a look at these. Look at your motor.
Oh my god.
Aren't those the court illustrator sketches?
As you can see from this sketch, the victim was seated at his desk when he was murdered. And what can you see right behind the victim? A small landscape painting. Thank you, Inquisitor. But there's one more point of note. Look closely at the painting. Do you notice anything behind it?
Oh, I see it. The wall behind it has already been painted green. Which means the witch could have used the portal spell here 3 months ago.
Objection.
But it's but a painting. One moment, my lord, consider how small that portal would have been. Could a witch have passed through it? I think not.
Objection.
Of course, the witch would not be able to go right through it. However,
Hands.
if you look at the distance between the portal and the victim, you'll notice that the victim, Sir Belduke, was sitting just an arm's length from where the portal would have been.
You get it now, buddy?
The witch did not have to enter the room at all. All she had to do was reach through with her arms in order to strangle Sir Belduke, who was sitting right under the painting.
Order! Inquisitor Barnum, what say you to that?
A fascinating theory, Sir Blue Knight. But a load of bullshit. There's a notable contradiction within it.
What?
Where would that be? Game, holy shit. Alright, we're good. Tell me, why do you think we concluded that Familia
Whoa.
had to have been used? There's a certain reason for it, of course.
And what was that reason exactly?
The crime scene had been tampered with. How so? Imagine the circumstances of Sir Belduke's death. It should become obvious, even to you. The victim was choked to death. Yet there were no signs of a struggle. Highly improbable, don't you think? What are you getting at? Think about it. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly should be evidence of a struggle. Since we haven't found any, it must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene.
Indeed, that would be the logical conclusion.
Or there was never a fight to begin with, because they had been put unconscious by some kind of drug in a bottle that was taken from the crime scene by accident. Now, surely it would be impossible to do any such things had the witch only reached inside through a portal. Now cover up the evidence she left behind, which had to have used a familiar. Without doing so, there would have been no point in her using the spell Godor.
Objection!
Miss Grayle could have done it. She would have been able to tamper with the crime scene.
Also, why else would the back of the wall behind the painting be green? There's no point for that to exist.
What are you talking about? The morning of the crime, from the time Miss Grayle and that guy entered the study, until the arrival of the Knights of the Inquisition, there was a window of time in which she had the opportunity to do so. You need to look into what happened in that window.
Seems we may be in need of another testimony. When it is, testify what would happen in the time between the body being found and the Knights of the Inquisition arriving. Sure thing, ask me anything. I'll tell you all you need to know.
Oh, Lord Sabia, tell us more, and maybe you won't be laughed at as before. Only 2 people accessed the crime scene in that time, Grayle and Amir. Believe it or not, Amir is the key witness in this case.
God.
He's holding it in his fucking hand. There's a reason he's almost fucking passing out. Because think about it. He's a heavyweight. He can take his alcohol. But boy, is he struggling today.
That thing has lasted 3 months. How is that possible with how much he chugs? Whoa, I almost did the judge there for a second.
I broke down the door and saw the alchemist slumped in his chair. Gave me a jolt. The butler hurried to call the Knights of the Inquisition. He never entered the study. What did I do then? I was asked to keep an eye on things, so I went in and to have a better look at everything. All that made me pretty drowsy, so I went in and took a little nap on the couch.
He's so gone.
Bro, he's gonna be dying soon. Wait, what? Mr. Amir, you said the butler didn't enter the crime scene?
Yep, he never set foot in there. The moment he saw Barazuki, he told me to stand guard till the Knights of the Inquisition arrived. And then off he went. What a resourceful apprentice that alchemist was, I thought to myself.
I'm so sorry for you, said Blue Knight. After all, your suspect couldn't have tampered with the crime scene. That can't be true.
Defense, please proceed with the interrogation. I almost said cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
So gone.
Interesting. Alright. Broke down the door, gave me a jolt. Yeah? Before you smashed the door, drunkenly probably, did you check that it was really locked?
Of course I did. We tried to get it open without resorting to brute force, but it wouldn't budge. So I went to fetch me lovely little axe.
His one enemy stood tall and still, yet the mist sprang forth. It was all overkill.
Did you think I lied about the door being locked?
No, of course not. Boy, she's so sharp she might cut herself. Or me, most likely me.
So then I went inside. The alchemist was slumped in his chair.
Well, allow me to confirm something. When you entered the room, did everything look the way he does in this sketch?
Yep, that's it. Spot on. Nicely drawn, too. You know, at first, I didn't know if he was really dead. He just passed out or something. Tired from his research.
Oh, hang on. Why can't I? There we go.
Yep.
Interesting.
Hang on.
Miss Grayle, may I ask you something?
Yes, what is it?
What do you think about Mr. Amir's testimony?
There's nothing amiss. However, Mr. Wright, I can tell what you are thinking.
I know what you're thinking. You can? Well, let's see if you're right.
When he entered the room, Mr. Emir didn't notice that Master Belduke was dead. On the other hand, I ran straight away to call the Knights of the Inquisition. And so, you suspect that I knew beforehand that Master was dead. That's what you're thinking. Your face is like an open book.
I mean, it's not what I was thinking, but... But isn't that what actually happened?
No, I knew something was wrong because Master looked Where are these words coming from?
I don't know.
Master had very fine manners and would never sleep in his chair. When I saw him like that, I was struck with a very bad realization. I felt certain that something terrible had happened.
I've heard about you. The word is that you're very collected and perceptive. Would seem to be the case.
It would be more appropriate to call her calculating.
Yeah. Calculating? What?
Somehow I feel like you're not paying me enough attention here.
Oh boy. Yep, here we go. The matter is not witnessed. Let us proceed with the cross-examination. Please.
Matters not, eh? No need to be so rude about it.
Fuck. Alright.
God, the slurring. I love it.
You think it's because he's bound to pass out from that interesting bottle you have there. Now,
he's trying.
I don't know if this is going to be a key or not. Because it's going to say it earlier, and I'll just go ahead and say it now. And I find it very interesting, possibly. Of the fact that Jean didn't enter the study. Probably is nothing, but I wonder if, like, almost as like a protection of sorts, if, like, the transmutation circle that was on the ground was actually made as, like, a barrier to where no witches could enter the room while that was there. And I wonder if that had an effect to where Jean couldn't go inside that room.
But something came up from it, remember?
But I'm just trying to spit something out, man. Damn it. Alright, the butler during the study. Are you sure the butler didn't enter the crime scene?
Yeah, like I said, he didn't set foot in that room. I went in and sort of didn't know what to do, but the butler sussed out the situation in the blink of an eye. He told me to stand guard and then he ran out.
So you went to call the Knights of the Inquisition, is that correct?
That's correct. I went to the nearby garrison.
We have the records of when the crime was reported. They match the witness's testimony.
I returned to Master Belduke's house with 2 knights. They began an investigation immediately, taking away Master's research materials and concoctions. In the end, I wasn't able to enter that room that day.
There can be no doubt about it. As she is the alchemist's apprentice. She is under the close observation following the incident.
I wasn't aware of that.
So in the end, she didn't have access to the crime scene at all on that day, huh? By the way, what were you doing at the time?
What, me?
Yes, you. Yeah, I was asked to keep an eye on things when I have a bit of a look at everything. Did you find a bottle by chance? What were you having a look at?
Well, I was asked to take care of the crime scene, wasn't I?
Well,
So I had to, like, make sure everything was in order. I mean, you know, it's not like I went wild with excitement after being left in a real alchemist room full of mysterious stuff.
I'm sure you did, Mr. Sticky Fingers.
And besides,
Besides?
she asked me to look for something, so I was doing that too.
Oh.
Hang on!
Miss Grayer, you look lost in thought.
Oh, were you talking to me?
Even she can be caught off guard. If I
Interesting.
choose the right moment. You've been listening to Mr. Amir's testimony, haven't you?
Yes, I have. It's kind of hard not to.
He was asked to look for something. It was you who asked him, I assume. What did you tell him to look for?
I think you're mistaken. I don't remember making any request of that sort.
Huh?
What are you talking about? Oi, Bluey! Were you even listening to what I said? It was a lady that asked me. The butler is a guy, you numbskull. Hey, yeah, what's up? Why's everyone looking at me like that?
Quite a while ago, we learned that the butler, Jean Grey Earl, is actually female.
What?
That's why when you said a lady asked you to search for something, we assumed it was Miss Grey Earl.
What?
Daydreaming and listening, but not hearing. That look of shock is almost endearing.
What? Why didn't anyone tell me before?
Do you require personal notification? You should have been listening to the trial. God.
Barnum wants to just squish that man like an empty Coke can.
God, you're lucky I don't roast you like a fucking pig in that fire.
Knights of the court squabbling with the witness is most unseemly. What I would like to know is this. Who was the lady that made the request of a mirror? Oh yeah, that was actually Miss...
He's absolutely certainly talking about me.
Oh boy.
Why you?
Oh, and you are?
Oh, I'm Letty. Hang on a minute. I'll get down that post haste.
Post.
Why are you
haste.
involved in this?
Get it? Post.
Yeah. Why? Why?
Miss Letty? Who are you precisely?
Me? Who am I? I'm Letty Mailer. I'm the courier.
You poor thing. You're destined for it the moment you were born, apparently. The courier?
A courier is a person who collects and delivers letters or packages.
Yeah, I know that, but why is she here? I know. Thanks anyway, Isabella. I wish you'd stop misreading my mind.
Misreading my
Hold on, Miss Mailer. Do you mean it was you who irresponsibly made such a request to that troublemaker?
Oh god. There's only one voice that's out of the other ranges that I can think to use for this.
Go for it, whatever it is.
Me? Maybe. Yes, I guess so. I asked him to help me find something.
Why was I not informed of this?
I guess no one told you. Maybe because you didn't ask?
No.
He's so done. This poor man. He's just trying to do his job.
For real.
All the prosecutors just seemingly deal with all these difficult witnesses when they're just trying to get the truth.
Yeah.
It seems we will not need to ask you to testify, Miss Mailer. But we will need to. Where did I get the knot from?
I'm not sure, but you know what? We'll go ahead and have her testify next time. I'm gonna need a little... There's just too much going on right now.
Why do they always have to come down from the rafters?
Bro,
Like-
so dramatic.
Like bats.
Oh my god. This is devolving into chaos. Why are you involved in this? What were you looking for?
I
Oh my god.
was looking for a paperweight. No.
God.